Hi, Joe Cerrone.
Al Rosen.
Welcome to our weekly classroom meeting for CAD 116, Basic AutoCAD 2021. Midterm exam is next week. And so on November 4th, we will have a midterm exam. There is a practice multiple choice exam located under quizzes and exams. You can take that test an unlimited amount of times, and that's the best way to prepare for this test. The test covers chapters 1 through 19, and those chapters are outlined in the outline of topics. The practice test is available starting today. And as we take a look at how this is rolling out, we'll find that under quizzes and exams. And then we'll find our practice midterm exam. And I'm just going to edit it, give you an idea what it looks like. Because as I view as a student, it'll make me take the exam. And I don't think I can actually do that quite using the system yet. So there are 50 points total in the practice exam, and it covers the chapters. Questions are multiple choice. Questions like, well, let's look at how many questions there are. 32 questions in the practice exam. So it's not real difficult. If we go back to our practice midterm exam, and then we take a look at one of the questions. Here's an illustration showing you the AutoCAD screen, be able to identify these different components. And like we were talking about, the best way to prepare for the exam is to take the practice exam. And I think 50 points is not quite right, because just that one question there had like 7 items in it. So we may update the total for that, but the midterm will be worth 100 points. And so this might just be a glitch where we make them worth 2 points, but with all the computerized things, it takes us more time just to develop it. And so we will have that set and squared away. So that's the midterm practice exam. Back to the main splash page. Covers those chapters starting today. You can use your book. It's not with Honor Lock. Next week, we'll take the exam using Honor Lock, and it will be very similar to the midterm exam. And the multiple choice exam will be worth 100 points. You'll use Honor Lock, and there is a fee that's charged. They charge $11 for it. Use Chrome when you take this exam. Google Chrome works best. If it's asking you for a password, that's a glitch. It's happened before, and it's usually because a student is taking the test with a different browser. But if you go to Honor Lock, and it's asking you for a password, or you just want to figure out how it works, just click on the support button. And they're really good with support. You can begin a live chat and you're good to go. They'll tell you what to do. They'll fix things. If that doesn't work, instant message us and Al and I will get back to you. We're not planning on having a Zoom meeting next week. We're just going to give the exam. You will need a credit card and a photo ID and a webcam. And so we'll add the word webcam to this as well. Part 2 is a mechanical or architectural drawing. And you can find it under hands-on drawings for the midterm. So there is a content section for midterm, and you can choose. It's just like we've been doing throughout the semester, where you pick a drawing. If you're going towards architectural, it'll be a floor plan or an elevation. If you're going towards mechanical, it'll be a mechanical part. And we want you to be able to draw the part, analyze it, dimension it, put it on a title block, set up the viewport scaling, all the basic tools that we need to do to standardize our drawing techniques. So that's part 2. You won't need to use Honor Lock for it, and you can take that at home. With the reason that we use Honor Lock is that we want to make sure that everybody who takes the test is who they say they are. And so it's really just a verification, since you're not in person. If you can't do honor lock, contact Al and I, and we'll arrange something in person for you, which is will be proctored. You can put these into the Dropbox, and they're due on the following week. Okay, so that's the midterm test. The outline of topics is updated to reflect all the due dates and things like that. And then when we look at our projects, we're starting a new project called this 3D Overseas Printing Project. And it's really a neat project. What we're doing is we're working with schools from Europe that are located in Amsterdam, Germany, and Sweden. And they have kind of the same thing going that we have over here. One of the instructors from Amsterdam came over to the United States a few years back and came up with this project. And it's really kind of neat. What we do is we share our digital CAD files with them, and they print them, and then we share our files with them and they print ours. And so we send our files that we send to be printed. And so the message, what they want to do here is to just see what students think about. And so the idea is to make a message tile, and the message tile will be related to the global goals. And I'll show you that in a minute. When we initially started it, we started off with a tile cube. And the way that the cube works is that we put a message tile on each face of it. And then we had like a pole that goes down the middle, and then we displayed those over at the Koling Museum. It's the art center over at the Des Plaines campus. It was really kind of neat because we had a video conference with the other schools, and they did the same thing. They got to talk about why they feel, you know, clean energy is important, or sustainability. And so it's your chance to be able to communicate with kids your age from other schools and adults, you know, just what's going on over there. How is things? I talk a lot about energy and gas cars and things like that. And in Europe, they have certain mandates where everything is going to be electric in the cities. And so a lot of changes coming around, and we just want to be able to talk about those things. So what we'll do is we'll work on this global goals project. The global goals is basically these national goals for your voice to be heard. And it's things like no poverty, good health, quality education, affordable energy, and clean energy. I mean, things are getting so expensive out there that, you know, it's time, you know, we want to be able to get our message out. And so the messages will be related to these tiles. And your job will be to create a tile, which we will 3D print. And I have some videos for those. And so take a look at the messages, back to the main splash page. You don't have to design the cube. We may do some update work for that in the future. We're going to light them and put them on display. And so the first part of the project will be to design a 3x3 tile using AutoCAD. Since we're in the AutoCAD class, we use the same announcement in our SolidWorks course. We'll use either CAD system for the other course, but students will be required to design 2 tiles with messages. And the tiles need to be the messages from the UN. And we'll talk about using inserts, and we'll explain those in our Zoom meeting. And I made some videos for that. Some of these other aspects as far as 3D Builder, converting logos and JPEGs, we will make videos for as well. So as we look at this, it's an opportunity to broaden your horizons and talk to international students. And then part 2 of this will take place next year, where we're going to build this frame. And the frame is really big. I think it's 10 meters tall, or excuse me, like 3 meters tall, about 10 feet tall. And we're going to put this out into the college campus somewhere. And so they're also going to build this structure in Germany, in Sweden, and in the Netherlands, and put the tiles for the students there. So it's a long-term project. There's a video tutorial on how to make the tiles in 2D. I'll show that. And so this video shows you how the project works. I kind of explain it. Some of my videos, I'm just making them as I go along here. So they're not professional quality. I don't have editors, but essentially what you'll do is you'll download the tile CAD drawing from the splash page. You'll pick one of the global goals that you feel you would like to use. I use Snip, and what I do is I make a JPEG of it, and then I show you how to trace over the part and insert the JPEG into AutoCAD. And so here's my tile, and then I insert raster image. I go out and find the raster image. Keep the raster image in the same file location as your CAD drawing. There are programs that will convert it. If you're really good with CAD, then you can convert it. But I like to use the drawing elements. And so I go through, I talk a little bit about that. I insert it into the drawing. Let me back it up. Just missed the good part here. And what I do is I put that on a layer so that we can turn that off, because it's not CAD, it's not vector data, it's bitmap data. And bitmap data doesn't 3D print. And so I go through and I show you how to do that, talk a little bit about it, show you some of the projects that we've worked on. Here's mine. And I just go through and I traced it. Tiles look really good if you want to show off your ability to use CAD to do two colors. And so the way that I have the project set is that we'll do a negative and a positive of the image. And so I go through and walk you through the techniques on that. And in the first one, we just do the 2D. So here's the first part, choose your message tile. I have two different ones right here. This one is, I forget, it's something about sustainable energy, and the other one's affordable energy. And then I showed a little bit of the message cube, and then back to the next part. So here's the tile that you'll download. We'll open that. And let me switch my screens over here. I have everything covering up over everything else, so it takes me a minute. And so it's just the message tile, and you'll go through and you'll insert the raster image. Make sure you show the menu bar so you can find that. Insert raster image. And then here's my clean energy. I open it. I okay it, bring it in. And then you can go through and trace over it. All right. So that's part one. There's videos for part two and the other parts that are located under content. And then if I look at the area here for that, let's see, it's 8A, overseas 3D printing project. And then we have to update the videos, the video links in here. I'll show it to you and we'll update that. Let me grab that. I'm going to pause the video. Resuming. Back to the Lab 8 Overseas 3D project. We had a little bit of a glitch with some of the links, so I fixed them. Al and I fixed them. So we're going to be working on this project, and the project is to make two panels, or two tiles rather, two 3x3" tiles. And you're going to use the student drawing link. If I click on it and open that tile, comes on my second screen, but here's the tile. And I showed you all you want to do here is to insert the raster image and to be able to trace over that. And we have other videos as well that are in the content section that'll show you how to make it 3D, kind of bonus things. And we're going to use this project as we go along throughout the course. And so part one is going to be to create a 2D tile like I did in the video. And that 2D tile, I'll show you mine if I still have it in my history. Will look like this. Well, this is the 3D tile. I kind of upped it a level, but the tiles will be really cool. And so we start off with a nice 2D tile, like you can see right here. And then in our next lesson after the midterm, we'll show you how to model it, and we'll show you how to 3D print it. And all that information is available for you in the content section. We're just trying not to duplicate everything we do in the main splash page and have it in the content, because we have to do everything twice. All right, so wrapping up our Zoom meeting for today. Midterm exam is next week. Take the practice midterm as many times as you like. It covers these chapters. The best way to prepare for the midterm is by taking the practice midterm exam. Part 1 next week will require honor lock. You'll need a credit card, photo ID, and a webcam. Part 2 will be a hands-on drawing that you will choose either an architectural or a mechanical drawing, and there will be no honor lock required for that. The ed assignment is everything is laid out in the outline of top in the calendar here, so you can look at when everything is due. And then that's basically where we're at for this week's Zoom meeting. Next week will be the exam. This week you should take the practice exam and start working on Lab 8A. Al, is there anything else that I need to cover?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
Alrighty then, I'm going to end this Zoom meeting. We'll post the recording, and remember, you can always instant message us or email if you have questions.